you could tell us on Rubin?
It was more optimistic than it looked. Still got to do more tests and stuff. He couldn't return some type of ankle injury, so we're going to have to look more into it. But it definitely was better than it seemed out there.
Negative, no fracture or anything?
The X-ray, they thought at first it would possibly tibia and stuff, and they came out and told me at halftime that was a negative, but he wasn't good enough to go back in the game.
Kyle, how disappointing is this as a first game for you as a head coach?
It was disappointing, but whether it was the first, last, or any one I have the rest of my career, it was disappointing. So I don't think it mattered that it was the first. Anytime you lose and lose that way, it's frustrating and disappointing, and feel that all day today and all night, and I'm sure our players will too. And we've got to watch the tape tomorrow morning and figure out a way to get better.
How are you guys so out of sync offensively?
I think anytime that you have those 2 turnovers, especially, I thought we had some opportunities early and we didn't come down with it. We had a couple of opportunities. We had that deep ball that we just missed on a 3rd down. I think that was our opening drive. I think the next series, I thought we had a chance to get a huge play to Kittle down the sideline. We would have ended up inside the 10, and I think we're just a little short on protection and ended up having a sack fumble on that. That turned it over. Then we lost Rubin the next play, and they went down and scored. So I think the opportunities we had, we missed. And once we got in that second half and started to become a little bit more one-dimensional, that's a team and a defense you do not want to become one-dimensional against. So just made a tough day.
You guys seemed to be really competitive before Rubin left the game. Did you kind of sense, feel kind of the team being a little deflated after his exit?
Rubin is a guy that we definitely want out there. I thought it was a little deflating when you have a big turnover like we did, especially when on the play it was a chance to have an explosive touchdown. So that was deflating on offense, and then to turn it over instead of that, and then to lose the guy the next play, and I think they went down 2 plays later and scored. So I thought our guys responded, though. I didn't see a lack of effort or guys stopping any way. I thought our defense battled all game. They gave up 2 touchdown drives, and both of them were off turnovers on a short field. So that was a tough position the offense put them in. But I'll see the tape tomorrow. But I thought the effort was there. We just got to make sure we got to get better.
Went forward on 4th down twice there in the first half near midfield. Was that just trying to be aggressive? Was that trying to take advantage of field position? Where were you going with there?
Both. I can't remember exactly every single one. I think in the second half it was because we needed to because of the difference in the score. But I think we were down 1. It was just out of field goal range for us, and liked what we had. Thought we'd have a chance to move the chains, and we didn't get it. But anytime you're in that type of area, anywhere between the 50 and the 35, it's always that area where do you want to punt and pin them inside the 10, or do you want to go for it and try to get yourself into field goal range, possibly a touchdown.
You were going to go for it on 4th down again, but you got a delay of game call. It looked like you were signaling a timeout to the officials.
Yeah.
Did they not hear you? What happened?
Yeah, they didn't hear me. I ended up changing my mind on that. I was going to call a timeout, but they reset the play clock and ended up giving us 25 more seconds, so I thought we had plenty of time. And then we got up there, and we just took too long at the line. And so I was yelling to call timeout, and the ref didn't hear me.
Do you have a clock management guy near you?
No, they're all in our headsets upstairs.
Were they telling you? Is that something that you were constantly hearing from them?
Well, yeah, that wasn't really clock management. That's more no one was worried about it because we were there with plenty of time. And then you could tell that Brian wasn't aware of it at the time, so we tried to yell timeout the last second, and the ref didn't hear me. So that's why we ended up getting that delayed game.
There was a play at the end of the game, 3rd and goal. I think Hoyer turned around to hand the ball off to Hyde, and he wasn't there. Was he lined up on the wrong side? What?
I think he just got confused coming out. I think Brian spun the wrong way, and then ended up not making the handoff.
Tied in motion a lot on 1st and 2nd down throughout the game. What were you looking to achieve with that movement?
It's lots of things. It's to get leverage in the pass game, to change fronts, whether you're going to 3-technique shade, to give you certain indicators. There's hundreds of different things, and it's something we do almost week in and week out.
You always talk about reps as a head coach, preseason reps. Different for you in this game? Did you feel different? Was the pace different?
Not really. The pace is the same way it's been my whole career. Calling plays and going, and I think Saul and those guys did a good job on defense. The timeout issue came when I didn't think we were going to get a delay game, so I wasn't right next to him for that reason. I wasn't wasn't really worried about it. And then once I realized that we were, it surprised me, so I was just yelling to him too far away, and that's why I didn't have a chance to hear me. But the game's like it always is. It's fast, it's competitive, and we win against a good team today, and I don't think we were at our best, so we just got to go back to work.
Now, there are a few pre-snap penalties in the game. Are those just growing pains in the adoption of a new system, or do you think you'd be farther along with that than you guys are?
Yeah, I definitely expect us to be farther along. I think that every week. It's not something new. It's something we've been doing since the first day we got here. I was disappointed in that. I believe we had 5 of them, and it's hard enough to win in this league, but you can't beat yourself, and that's something we got to figure out why it's happening, and we got to clean it up. I don't think that. That's a real good team, and you got to be at your best to play against them. And by no means do I think we beat ourselves. I got to give credit to them; they deserve it. But we can make it a lot easier.
Couple more. When you don't go for it on the 4th down, obviously then everyone says it's a bad decision. You're known for being aggressive. Is that do you look back and say, oh, will you look back and say, hey, maybe I need to reconsider that?
I won't decide that now, but I will all day tomorrow. I'll go back and look at the time and what happened. Especially the ones earlier in the game. Those are, to me, the ones that you got to look back and definitely decide. The ones later in the game, we didn't have a choice. We were down 3 scores. A field goal wasn't going to do anything for us. So we had to do that in the second half. But I'll definitely go back and look at all of them, as always.
Defense played overall. The yards per play were pretty good. Did you think it held in there pretty well?
Yeah, I thought. The way the game played out, they gave us a chance. It's the 2 touchdowns they gave up were off of turnovers on a very short field. I thought they did a decent job in the run game and the pass game. They got us the ball twice with 2 turnovers. Unfortunately, we had 2 of our own. So again, I'll see the tape, but out there, I'm definitely never satisfied and want us to do better in all facets. But it looked like they competed pretty well.
Last one.
Just watching it live, I think we were in 3 deep zone, and Cam held on to it for a little bit, and he started to spin, get out of the pocket. And when you got guys in zone coverage looking back at the quarterback, and the timing of the play is off, and I think everyone was covered in the rhythm of the play, but Cam extended it with his feet, broke out of the pocket, and when that happens, zone coverages break down, and we got to get to him there, and I'm not allowing him to hold on to the ball so long.
It's not your job to sell tickets, but the stadium was kind of half empty today for the season opener. Do you have anything to say to fans in terms of, the product getting better or hang in there with you or any of that kind of stuff?
Yeah, I didn't notice the attendance or anything, but I thought the fans were great. Came out early in the game, and I thought they were loud. I heard all of them early. I don't think we gave them much to cheer for in the second half, so definitely can't blame them for that. It's definitely want them to stick with us. I think this has been a great fan base for a long time. I think it still is. They haven't had a lot of cheer about recently. But I can promise them we're doing everything we can and working as hard as we can to change that, and we're going to do it as soon as we possibly can.